And for more on these Israeli strikes on Syria, I'm joined once again by our International Affairs editor, Philipe Turle. Philip, can you tell us the latest of what's going on in Syria at the moment?
Right. The latest that we're hearing is that the Syrian president, Ahmed al-Sharaa, has addressed the nation. That was last night, saying that local officials are going to be, or local groups are going to be taking over in Sweida to make sure that the situation there is peaceful and that government troops are withdrawing from the city. So it looks like we're moving slowly towards a ceasefire agreement and a calming of the situation. That is something that will be welcomed by the international community. That's something obviously that's going to be welcomed by the Druze community. But there is such tension in that region between the Bedouin tribes, who are basically Sunni Muslim, and the Druze community, which is basically Shia Muslim. It's going to take more than that for the situation to calm down. And there is also something else, another element which does not help in all of that. And there's a lot of suspicion about where the Syrian government actually stands in all of this and what they are hoping to achieve. Now, remember that there were attacks against another minority in Syria just recently in March, the Alawite minority, by groups which were believed to be affiliated to the government. The government has rejected that idea. 1,700 people were killed in those attacks. There's a lot of worry on the side of the Druze that they could also be next in the firing line, if you like, by the Syrian government. The Syrian government says, no, it wants to reunite the country, it wants to build a prosperous Syria. But there is a lot of mistrust between both sides. And what we've seen over the past 4 days is not going to help rebuild that trust, I think, anytime soon.
And what is Israel trying to achieve?
So Israel has been involved in this basically for several reasons. The first reason is it wants to protect the Druze minority. There are many Druze based in Israel. They are used by the Israelis, for example, in the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces. They speak Arabic. They're very useful. They've also been helping to maintain the border between Israel and Syria. For the Israeli Prime Minister, he doesn't want to see any threat to that border zone. He also doesn't want to see any threat from the new Syrian leadership. He doesn't really believe that they're being honest when they say they've turned the back on their Islamist past, with the president Ahmed al-Sharaa known to have had links with al-Qaeda and Islamic State. That's why Israel has been launching these bombing raids. They're not new, the ones that we've seen yesterday. There were bombing raids in previous months to try to destroy weapons in Syria to prevent them from falling into the wrong hands. But this is not helping in the peace process in Syria, in trying to rebuild the country and to give the buoyancy and the trust in the new regime that it needs, because it really is still just in its infancy, having just taken power since last December.
Thank you very much for that, Philipe Turle.